When you're asking your letter writers to write your recommendation for you, it's important to consider which of the 15 core competencies that person would best be able to comment on. Nobody's going to be able to comment on all 15, and you really don't want that. That would be a terrible letter. It would be 4 or 5 pages long. So each person should comment on 2 or 3 of your competencies. And if you want many of your competencies highlighted, then you want to strategically think about who can comment on which ones. And so, or you might think, okay, I'm going to ask 2 science faculty. Maybe in one of my classes, I always showed up to office hours. I came in early and stayed late for lab. Maybe there was an issue where I was able to, not be part of a cheating ring or something that shows your ethical responsibility. Maybe you did a lot of presentations in your class, which would demonstrate your oral communication, or you worked on a lab with a team. If you struggled or failed in the class, you could talk about, that person could talk about your resilience. And if they gave you feedback on your test or they told you how to study better, they could talk about your capacity for improvement. Critical thinking, quantitative reasoning, scientific inquiry, written communication, these are all very obvious things that almost any professor could talk about. And so you don't want all of them to comment on just those things. You want to be a little creative and point out to them when you ask for the letter of recommendation, point out to them some of the things you did in their class and encourage them or maybe suggest to them that maybe they could comment on these other attributes or these other competencies that the AAMC has put out there for them. If you give them the letter writer guide, it has all of these listed. What some people used to do for me when I used to write a lot of letters for people is they would actually highlight the competencies that they hoped I would talk about. And in a separate email, they would outline why it is that they thought I could comment on those things best.